Hi, and welcome to Your Urban Connection. Now, I want to get right into this story because this is something that I'm sure most of you are not aware of. This just came across the wires earlier today. So I want you all to understand what this is. And I want to show you basically the headline on this. And I want you to watch this. And we're going to talk about this. And I think you'll be quite interested in what I'm about to talk about here today on the show. Now, this gentleman right here is a U.S. House representative from Tennessee. And as you can see there on the headline, this gentleman has filed an amendment to the United States Constitution to allow for a third term for Donald Trump to serve as president. Now, this leads me to ask, and this gentleman is he's either in his first or his second term as a U.S. House representative from the state of Tennessee. But I gotta ask, what the hell is this guy smoking? I mean, and let me tell you, what he's done here is after 5 days, and it's not even a full 5 days yet, but in the fifth day of Donald Trump's presidency, this guy is making an amendment for a third term. Now, I've got several questions. Number one, how in the hell does he know that Trump will even be alive to serve a third term? After all, he's 78 years old. His mental acuity leaves a lot to be desired. Okay? He's shown clear stages of early dementia already at 78. So that's the first thing. How do we know he's going to live through this first term? The second question I have is, what makes you think that the American public would even want this guy to serve a third term? After what we've seen in just the first 5 days is enough to turn most, if not, well, I won't say all, but certainly an awful lot, if not most of the American public, to say we've seen enough. The guy said he wanted to be a dictator on day one. But his actions are showing he wants to be a dictator for life. And let me tell you, this comes as no surprise to me because I said all along that if this guy, Trump, got back in office, it would be hell to get him out of there because if he put up a fight in 2020 to stay in office and he didn't get to do it, what the hell you think he would do in 2028? So let's get into this. This guy, and I want to read him, but I want to tell you, first of all, I want to tell you the bottom line here. This guy thought he was being slick, and his amendment put in there, and I want to read this to you, and I want you to understand why it's important. Because this guy says his amendment is for Donald Trump. Well, I got to go back. Sorry about that. His amendment was for Donald Trump to serve a third term, but what he did was he worded it so that Donald Trump would be able to serve a third term, even though right now they're not allowed to. Donald Trump would be able to serve a third term, as what he put in there in his amendment. But Barack Obama would not be able to serve a third term. So the guy thinks he's being slick, okay? And so he's rigging this thing to deny Obama the same thing that he is projecting here for Donald Trump, okay? So you see, he says give President Trump a third term, all right? But the amendment does not allow for, as it's worded now, does not allow for Barack Obama to run for a third term. After all, Barack Obama is still sharp. He's still young. He has been re-elected for 2 successive terms. Trump has never done that. Okay. Barack Obama has won the Nobel Peace Prize. Trump has never done that. Barack Obama has been nominated as the most respected, most admired person in the United States for consecutive years. Trump has never done that. So what the heck are we talking about? Donald Trump, his mental acuity right now at 78 leaves a lot to be desired. He's not sharp. He's not smart. He has no ideas. He has no policies of his own. What has he shown us? He's shown us that basically what he wants is to make his own set of rules, and everybody else has to abide by his set of rules. Well, that didn't work the first term, and right now it does not appear to be working for the second term. You see, the Democrats were ready for this, and they're filing lawsuits on several of his proposals that he made in just the first 5 days. They blocked his birthright amendment. They blocked it. He didn't expect that. He was not prepared for that. He thought all he had to do was say it, and his cronies, his spineless Republican cronies, would allow him to get away with it. When he says jump, they say how high. We've seen him nominate people that have no qualifications for some of the highest offices in the land, such as we saw right off the bat Matt Gaetz nominated for Attorney General, and he was laughed right out of the room. And then he goes behind that and comes up with a TV host who has zero qualifications to be anywhere in the United States government, let alone being the head of the Defense Department, okay? Secretary of Defense. This guy, Pete Hesbit, has more problems than any nominee that has ever been nominated for a position in the United States cabinet. In his first 5 days, we've seen Donald Trump pardon 1,500 convicted felons who were following his orders on January 6th, 2020. Okay? So to say that Donald Trump is qualified to run for a third term is absolutely the most asinine thing I've ever heard come out of the mouth of any United States congressman or senator. Never heard it before. Never heard anything like this. And this guy goes on to say that in his first 5 days, Trump has demonstrated his loyalty to the American public. No, he has not. He's demonstrated how he wants to be a dictator. He wants to be like Putin, his buddy. He wants to be like Kim Jong-un, or whatever his name is, okay? That's who he wants to be like. And these guys have been in power through rigged elections for years upon years. And they will stay in power. And that's what he wants to do. They rule according to what they feel and what they think is right. To hell with everybody else. That's what Donald Trump wants to do. Okay? So I only hope that the American public will see right through this BS that this guy is proposing. Let me just say this. This guy is no political giant or genius. Like I said, he's only in his second term. I think it's he was elected in 2023. So basically, I don't know if he was up for re-election in 2024 or not. But he's very new at this. He's still learning, as a matter of fact. So he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. He's way off base and way out of line. But I doubt, and I could be wrong, stranger things have happened, but I doubt that this amendment will get off the ground. Surely we have enough people in the U.S. House, both Democrat and Republican, that can see right through what this guy is proposing. And I don't think they're buying what he is selling. And I feel certain that if he was to make this amendment to allow, or amend it again, to allow for any person, take Trump's name out and put any person, which would open the door and pave the way for Barack Obama to run, I'm betting my money on Barack Obama. Now, I don't have any, at this point, I don't have any knowledge that that Obama would even want a third term. But if he would, I'm sure that more American people would vote for Barack Obama before they would ever vote for a 34-time convicted felon. All right? So, Mr. Ogles, I don't know what you're smoking, sir, but whatever it is, I'm going to tell you, it's bad for your health. Okay? You need to find another addiction, because this one is going to get you thrown out of office there in Tennessee. Now, I know you got some wackos there in Tennessee, and I don't mean to offend anybody in Tennessee, but even you in Tennessee know you've got some wackos over there in your United States House of Representatives and some others. Okay? So, Mrs. Blackburn is from Tennessee. She's a wacko. Okay? So, this amendment, sir, is something that was not well thought out. And I want to tell you something. I already knew that there was going to be an attempt by somebody, if not Donald Trump himself, somebody in the Republican Party was going to try to attempt to find a way for Donald Trump to stay in office. But I did come sure, had no inkling that it would come within 5 days of this man being in office. 5 days. And these are the same people that raised all kinds of hell about Joe Biden at age 81 being elected to the presidency of the United States. At 81, he would have been the oldest man to ever have been elected to the presidency. So here we're talking about a man that, if he were to survive and serve the full term, he would be 82 come 2028 election time. And yet, that's all right with you? You're talking about giving a third term to a man whose mental acuity, right this moment as we speak today at 78, sir, is called into question his abilities. Let me ask you something. Has he ever submitted to show his medical records to the United States public? No. No, he didn't. Why is that? What is he afraid of? What is he scared of? Tell me that. You know? So, you Republicans, you need to get your heads on straight. You need to start thinking, and you need to grow a spine, okay? And you need to come to grips with your inability to stand up to a president who wants to line his pockets with taxpayer money. Okay, that's what it's all about. Okay, so Representative Andy Uggles, you get the award for being the great pretender on this day, the 25th of January, 2024. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. That's my show for today, and I will see you next time.